Hey guys, I'm Lydia, and if you couldn't tell from just a few seconds earlier in those little beginning clips, I got a grocery haul in today. Okay, so I actually ordered my groceries from Walmart and I got them in delivery just because I need to sleep in. It's my day off from work and I really want to sleep in just a little bit. Anyway, so you saw I had bags everywhere. I didn't even finish unpacking it all. I just want to show you what I normally do when I get all of my groceries in. A lot of the stuff I get, I like pre-plan my kitchen staples that I want either in my pantry or in my freezer. So it's not really like a meal prep. It's just a quick grab and go during like work days. So like today I found ground beef in packs that was really great price. Okay, I like to do a weird mixture. I know people can say I can just get all of one blend, but I don't do that. So I get a 93.7% and an 80-20%. Usually I have two 80-20s. I thought I had one in my freezer, but I didn't, so we're just gonna work with the one. But we're gonna just throw these in, start mixing our seasonings, and we're just gonna prep them up, press them out with our little machine. And then put them right into the freezer, and I'll show you how I store them, okay? So let's just get moving. I got some bootleg scissors, guys. Just want to throw that out there. So if they break on me like they normally do, don't judge. I'm gonna buy some new scissors one day. I have a dream I will. I never get my ground beef in this. I never know how to undo it. Dang. Okay, so ground beef is in our bowl. We're just gonna put some seasonings in. I don't measure, I'm sorry. But we'll just show you how I do it. So I start with some Larry's. This burger blend I'm gonna make, I'm gonna season it very well, but we're just gonna do the traditional seasonings right now because I do like to do various burger flavors. Sometimes I'll do like a French onion burger. Sometimes, oh my God, I love my Western burger. It's so good. So if you ever wanna see me make one of those, just leave a comment down below and I'll definitely show you how I do those. When I lived in a house, it was so much easier. I'm sorry guys, so I just went in with some black pepper and onion powder. But when I lived in the house, it was easier because I had more space. I had an outdoor grill. So sometimes I like freezer these and sometimes I did these from scratch because I wanted to just, oh. This is some garlic powder. And then when I make these and put them in the freezer, I always use dried herbs instead of fresh, just to let you know. So I'm just gonna add some parsley. And I add a lot. So you can add what you want, but I add. And then some basil. And I go less basil than parsley. Just because I'm a parsley girl. So if you can see, my meat is covered. So I'm just gonna mix this up with my hands. I don't add any binders in mine. Some people do. When I make them from scratch and I know I'm gonna cook them the same day I would, just because I know the meat hasn't sat, so it's not really gonna hold its shape too well. But when I put them in the freezer, when you defrost them, guys, after patting that meat together, it's gonna hold its shape. It really is. Alright guys, so fingers, hands clean. I just wipe my station down so we can start forming our patty. I have some foil sheets. I'm actually out of parchment paper right now, so until I get some in, this is what I'm gonna use. And just to ensure that the burgers don't stick in between each sheet, I'm just gonna spray it very lightly with some Pam. Just like that, okay? And it's just sprayed real light, and then I'm gonna put the burgers in between. So we're gonna start this out. My burger patty is from Weber, this burger patty presser. Again, when I used to live in the house, we had an outdoor grill, and I had like the whole Weber set because I love Weber, promise you. Okay, anyway, so I have the 1/4 pound side, and then it turns into like a half pound side, okay? So I'm gonna start with the 1/4 pound because we have kids, young ones, and it's just gonna be easier for them. I have a little scoop just because I don't remember how much I'm gonna use, but I want them to kind of be the same. So I might need more. See? So I'm gonna do 2 scoops. Yep, beautiful. And it came right off. And this is my first patty, guys, okay? So I'm just gonna keep rocking and rolling with these. And I like to put them, because they're not parchment and I didn't cut it, cutting it in half wouldn't have made sense because it wouldn't have all fit. I'm just gonna leave it whole, but I'm gonna keep all of them in the center and stack on top. So when I do put them in my Ziploc bags, I'll be able to fit 2 full sheet sides in each bag next to each other, and I can just fold it into. You'll see. So I'm gonna just keep rocking and rolling. Fold that over. Okay guys, so that just took maybe like 15-20 minutes tops, not really sure, but it wasn't long at all, okay? So out of 4 pounds of meat, I was able to get 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, it's 13 and a half burgers. And the only reason I say half is because I got this little mini one. I had a little meat left over. So I got 13 and a half burgers. I'm actually gonna cook this little mini one and have it as my snack while I'm prepping today. Okay, so I have my little bags. And I'm just gonna take each quarter section. So this is how they look, and the meat, like the burgers are in between layered, and you can see. And I'm just gonna pick it up and slide it right in. Take another one, slide it in front. So now I'll have 2. Rows in each bag. And then I'm gonna zip it up. Okay, so these are how they are. And these are just how I have my bags, guys. Every time I label them, so I write here what it is, today's date, and then how to cook it or prep it. So that's what I have written on that little white part. And then I always fold my little lips over. So you'll see me do that whenever I prep meat, just so I don't get any meat on the seals or where my hand should be touching. So I'm gonna slide these in now. And this little extra 1 1/2, I'm actually gonna put it in with this one. Right on top. And zip that up too. Press as much air out as you can. All right. And these are my next burgers. So these are gonna go right into the freezer, guys. And then we'll move right on to the next prepper item, pantry, whatever thing you were doing today, okay? So we're just gonna move on. I'm gonna throw these right in the freezer. Okay guys, so moving on, we have some steaks. Now, the steaks that I originally purchased were the New York strip, the thin strip steaks. Now, I did this whole, it didn't come like that. I did that, just wanna let you know. But I always smell my meat when it comes in. It's just me. I don't know. Especially if I don't go to the store and get it myself. I always rip and smell it when it, that was me, guys. Anyway, I wanted the thins, but they didn't have 2 packs, so they sent me 1 of the thin, and then it got substituted with 1 of the thick. Okay, so this will be 1 for the family pack, and then this will be like if we have a little date night. Sometimes I like to cook me and the boyfriend date night dinner when the kids are asleep. So what I'm gonna do first is I have a little bowl and I'm gonna mix my seasonings. Now guys, I don't know the exact measurements because if you could see, I don't have a measuring spoon. But I'm gonna start with some paprika, and I'm gonna put enough in for all of my steaks. So I got, this is about a tablespoon of paprika in this bowl. Okay, we're gonna go with some onion powder. And I'm gonna go about a little bit of a ½ tablespoon of onion powder. So I'm not gonna go too heavy on the pepper. So I'm just gonna go 1 teaspoon on the black pepper. Now my salt, I'm gonna go about a tablespoon on that. And it's not just straight salt, guys. This is just Larry seasoning salt. And then my garlic. So this is like my freeze-dried garlic that I have, and I love using freeze-dried. I love it. Ah! And I am gonna go about a ½ tablespoon of freeze-dried garlic. What I'm gonna do is stir it around and just see what it looks like. Oh, smells good. So I'm trying to think now that I look at this. Okay, this is about how much I have. These are going straight in the freezer once I get them marinated, guys. I also have some olive oil here, which I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that too. But these steaks are going to go in the freezer once I get them in the Ziploc bag and marinated. Now, as you can, well, if you can't tell, I do prepare stuff in my kitchen a lot of different ways. And I have different ways of doing things just because I like different foods prepared different ways. And some things you can sacrifice on quality, like if you freeze it, but some things you can't. Okay? So like with steaks, I would never cook a steak and then freeze it. But you know, I have some meals where I have it done already prepped and frozen. You know? So what I'm gonna do real quick, guys, is I'm gonna go rinse these steaks off. There's this whole debate on cleaning your meat. I grew up doing it. That's what I do. So let me go clean these and I'll be back. Alright guys, so they're just rinsed and patted dry. I have my seasoning here and I'm just gonna sprinkle some right on top. And again, we're gonna freeze these because I love a fresh cooked steak. I know it's not fresh if it's frozen, but hey, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. I just wanna make sure every inch of this side of the steak is covered before I flip it over. All right, so they're nice and covered, and I'm just gonna pat them down and flip, pat them down and flip, pat it down and flip one more time. Now the olive oil, guys, we're gonna just add in once we put it into the bag. I'm just gonna drizzle a little olive oil in each bag. And that's just gonna help with the marinating process. What I'm actually gonna do before I freeze it is I'm gonna sit this in the refrigerator, okay? We're gonna actually put this in the refrigerator for about an hour or two, just because I really want those seasonings to penetrate through each layer of meat. Okay, so I got them all in there and it looks great. So I'm gonna put these in the bag and I have them mixed. Okay, so this is thick and I have them labeled same way I did with all of my food. It says New York strip steak and these are the thick, and then it says New York strip and these are the thin with today's date. So I'm gonna put these right in the bag. Alright, so I have these right in the bag. So we're just gonna open up our olive oil. Now guys, I found this actually, well, this was actually given to me, but I did finally find another one when I ran out, okay? And this is extra virgin olive oil. I don't know if you can see the label, but it actually has like herbs infused in it. And this bottle I've had for a while, guys. Actually, since I moved back in, well, since I moved into this apartment, I've had this bottle for a while. And every time I run out, I just get my bottle of olive oil that I get from BJ's. And I just keep refilling it up because them herbs, I'm telling you, it's like gold. It is gold to olive oil. I learned that. So I'm just gonna do a nice little drizzle over, just like that. Stay nice and flat. I don't want them to be on top of each other. We're gonna Ziploc it closed. Push as much air out as you can. All right. Those are the thins, and we're gonna do the same with the thick. So I just put, kind of like a side view, I put the whole nozzle in. I know it's a little dirty, but we can clean that off. And I just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle down, push the air out, close it up. So wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. You really don't need a lot at all. So again, we're gonna put these in the refrigerator for about an hour, and then I'll put them into the freezer to freeze them until we're ready to use, okay? Hey guys, so I actually got these. Oh my God. If you haven't tried these, they're good. I got these from BJ's. Now, they sell the smaller bags at Walmart. Don't like them. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a different sauce. I don't know, but it ain't the same. So I only, if I get pre-whatever made chicken honey barbecue, it's gonna be this kind from BJ's. It's the only one I'll get. I do like the Costco's brand too though. I'm gonna throw that out there. And then with that bag, I just take them again, same with my Ziploc bags. Guys, I will invest in those reusable Ziploc bags when I can afford it. I will. But I get these in bulk at BJ's and they're just easy. So when I can afford them, I will get a whole bunch of resealable ones. The recyclable ones. Not the reusable ones. Ah! Brain fart. Anyway, I'm just going to divide this bag into two to make it easier for them to grab it. And we won't be defrosting the whole entire bag. Now the only people who eat these is me and Naboo. The baby don't really eat these at all, but he's still in that picky stage. So just splitting these in half will be perfect for me and him. We can eat them one night. He'll have half, I'll have half. So I'm gonna zip these up and put these in the freezer as well. Hey guys, so as I was meal prepping, you see my area getting clear. not meal prepping, but just putting stuff away. I had some celery in my fridge, so usually this time I'll go in my fridge, take things out. So I had some celery that was going bad. So I'm just putting it in my stockpile bag that I keep in my freezer, because I am going to be doing some chicken stock soon. So just stay tuned for that, because I will have a recipe and how I can my own chicken stock coming out very, very soon, okay? So I took the celery that was a little more softer and I put that in the bag. So now I'm just still getting rid of all of my old stuff out the fridge, making room for the new stuff, okay? So in here I just have some green onions and some ginger. Now my ginger is good and I'm gonna keep that. Okay, but see how like my green onion sprigs are going? So what I'm gonna do is just keep the parts that we can use, and I'm gonna just put that right into my bag again for when I do my chicken stock. So I only want to keep the best pieces, so the ends I got rid of, these little green scragglies I got rid of, and I just kept, you know, my longer parts. I'm just gonna roughly chop that. You don't want to have anything go to waste, guys. That is something that I'm very big on, is using everything. Why buy chicken stock from the store when you're throwing scraps away? You can just make it yourself, you know? Now I have a big old bag of carrots. I'm gonna do the same thing I did with my celery. I'm gonna do it with my carrots. So any bad parts or any parts that I shave off, because I am going to peel. How to think about that. I am gonna peel the skin of my carrot, okay? So the peels, of course, will go in the freezer bag, because those can get cooked in with my broth. Same with my little end pieces. I'm gonna cut those off. I'm actually gonna throw those away. Any pieces that I don't use, I am gonna cut some off just strictly for my broth. I'm gonna dice some carrots, put them in the freezer, and I'm also going to slice some carrots and put them in the freezer as well, because I have some recipes coming up for those too. Okay, so I'm just gonna get started on all of my carrot prep. Alright guys, so carrots peeled, and I only did a couple for right now. I actually did label a couple of bags. I'm gonna have some shredded. I'm gonna actually see if I'm able to use this little slicer tool. But I'm gonna pretty much stay between these two. So some shredded and then this slicer tool. And I'm gonna try to have at least 2 bags of shredded and then 1 bag sliced, because the shredded is great for when you wanna make carrot cake and don't feel like doing all of that work. I know some of you can get like a food processor or one of those mandolin things. I don't have one, guys. I'm really into just old-fashioned knife and cutting board, and I might use a grater, but I'm not really big on all of those new tools. I do love appliances, but I don't actually use them. Oh Lord, that's crazy to say, but I'm just gonna finish off with my carrots. That's weird. I never thought about it. I really didn't think it would be that much work, but it was great. So I have 4 bags of my prep carrots, okay, and I weighed them all out to be a pound each. So I have 2 pounds of shredded, 2 pounds of sliced, and then guys, this is my 3rd freezer bag of scraps for my chicken stock. So I'm so excited because we're almost there, and look how full it is. This is the 2nd one with carrots. Well, the first one has all the shaving. This one has like the little scraps. of the little ones that I wasn't gonna use. Anyway, so excited. So, space, dishwasher being filled. I'm actually going to just put the rest of the stuff up, do a quick wipe down and clean, and I'm actually done for the day, guys. It was wonderful having you help me out. This was kind of like a spontaneous video. I don't really know what to call it, but I'll figure it out. But it was great just having y'all in the kitchen with me today. So, without further ado, I will see you next time. Bye.